Power is nothing more than forcing or coercing somebody because of your position and because of your might. Now you can get effective, you can actually be effective at power. You can get some things done. Power. Look at Stalin. Look at Hitler. Look at the Japanese in World War II. They got some Mussolini. They got some things done with that. You know, do it or else. Do it or else. Do it or you're fired. Do it or you die. You know, that's a pretty motivator. You got a gun in my head, I'm going to do some things. Put a gun in my kid's head, I'll do a lot more of it. So, you know, so what other kind of images do you get when you think of the word power? And maybe someone that might be in power, maybe especially in the workplace. What do you think? I came up with some last night, and one of the first things that came to my mind was bully. You know, someone who's having to use power is nothing more than a bully. I also thought of dictator, and right when I thought of dictator, I thought of government. You know what Brandon's going to be talking about? I mean, we've got government compliance just, you know, on top of us, and they're actually, the attitude, if you look at the writings of Secretary Michaels and OSHA, I mean, it's almost bullying. The comment, I'm just staring at him, I can't believe this is in writing, of what he's saying, the attitude towards employers. So, which really scares me. So really we have another way of dealing with this is authority. And I love this too because it's the same thing. It's the skill of getting people to willingly do your will because of your personal influence. Now, who usually comes to mind when you think of someone who really has authority? They really have a skill of getting you to do something because just of their influence over you.
Spouse.
Yes, spouse. That might be more power. That might be more power. But yes, your spouse. Yes, yeah. Well, most of us have good relationships with our spouses. So yes, you would do it. Why? Because she asked you to, and you wanna please her. So yeah, absolutely. It's good. I didn't put that on my list. My wife will be mad that you came up with that and not me.
I won't tell.
Please don't. Who else would you think of that might have authority over you? Possibly your boss, depending on the situation, yeah. If that person really is a leader and has authority and not using power.
People like ministers.
Yeah.
Like that, I believe.
That was the first one that I came up with. I mean, you think about having to be a leader in a church. Volunteers. You think do this or else is going to work with them? Do this or you're fired is going to work? Try putting yourself in a leadership position in a church, you know, as a volunteer, and see if you can lead people. That's a huge testament of your leadership skills. And of course, there's plenty of churches that need help. So you know, you just sign yourself up. You'll have all kinds of people excited. But you know, think of this: can you think of someone that actually has power over you with no authority? Maybe a boss. Can you think of someone who actually has authority over you but no power?
That would be me.
Has authority over you but no power. Well, you know, I'd much rather we'll get more done together because you have authority and power over me. And there's a wonderful book here. It's actually one of the guys in your place was, you know, I'm just a low-level supervisor. What can I really do? I said, there's a lot you can do. 360 Leadership. This book kind of goes in and said, no matter what position you are, whether you're a janitor, whether you're a low-level supervisor like this guy was, to maybe someone higher up, doesn't matter where you are, you can lead from where you are. Leadership doesn't mean that you have power. It means that you have authority. You can get people to do things. And usually when you have big corporations that have problems, you always go in and try to look for that one department that's shining. And there's always going to be someone in that building, in that big corporation, that's going to have some department that's flourishing. Why? Because of a person in their leadership. We look for that, and then we multiply it out. Multiply it out. You just find that one person, and then boom, you can change a whole organization very, very quickly. So, church ministers, teachers, have had some great impact over my years. Not a lot of power, when you really look at it. I was paying them. you know, we look at college and things like that. So I also thought of doctors. You kind of respect your doctors. You know, they just, that much schooling, I'm just going to respect them. You know, whatever you say, you got the schooling, I don't. Also firemen. I don't know what it's about firemen, but we just tend to, we tend to love our firemen. You think of 9/11 and what they had to do, and you know, and also our National Guard, even though they might have power over other countries, is that when they're off duty, they have a lot of authority. We respect them, and we'll do things for them that maybe we normally wouldn't do. So really looking at it is that when you have employees and you look at, you know, power versus authority, I think one of the things we need to really establish is, do we really have employees that are really volunteers? Do they really have a choice of staying where they're working? I mean, Mike mentioned that we have at-will employment. That really, I can quit at any time, and Mike can fire me at any time. I mean, are we really just volunteers? So why is that different from, say, a ministry? I think a lot of people do get scared once they get into a job for so long. They're afraid to leave. That's a different topic. But ultimately, if we really look at Virginia and its at-will employment status, is that we really are volunteers. You know, we can rent, you know, their hands, we can rent their arms, we can rent their backs, and the fair market will determine the pay that we're supposed to pay them. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they can leave us at 50 cents more per hour. And they do. And they can leave 50 cents less per hour. And they do. So, you know, we can't control their hearts. We can't control their minds. But what we can do is try to create a better environment. Really we're looking at is that if you have to use your power, we have to ask ourselves why. Why in this instance did I have to use my power? I can remember back, I think 5, 6 years ago, where I had a young lady, and I got so frustrated, and this was over and over, I allowed this to happen. I got to the point where she was questioning me, and I just screamed at her, says, because I said so, because I'm your boss, and that came out of my mouth. When I said it, I knew that, okay, this is now going down a whole other path. I opened up my mouth. You know, have you ever been there? Maybe someone say yes. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Yes. The only one that makes mistakes. Good. So, you know, right when it came out of my mouth, I knew that really this was bad. Either one of two things happened. Is that the authority that I had broken down, or I never had the authority to begin with. And that's scary. You kind of look in the mirror, as this book says, is that when you have a problem that you're faced with, is that you always look in the mirror first. And that's the kind of the qualities of great leaders. Always looking in the bad times in the mirror. In the good times, they're always saying it's because of luck. You know, no, it's luck, not luck. You got a good team. You got good people. But I like the attitude. It's luck. So this is where the exercise comes in. So we've got some colorful cards on your table. And very quickly, on the front, put a name. It can just be a first name of someone that you know that in your life, it could be living or it could be someone that's now deceased, that has led you with authority. On the front, do that.
What color?
What's that? On in your card, you have a card in the back of your book?
What short one?
A short one? Oh, so there you go. You can read that. So on the front, put the name and tell me who they are. Is it a mom? Is it a dad? Is it a teacher? Is it a boss? You know, who is that person in your life? Now, on the back of the card, let's list their qualities of character. What is it about this person that has that you would walk through walls for? Why would you walk through walls for this person? What do they do? What do they mean to you? What kind of qualities of character do they have? We'll just take a minute. Slow.
Oh, it's sugar and caffeine. Big band and half of that was in the workplace.
Did your coffee wear off?
Yeah. It'll take some carbs, it'll take nice carbs to do that. All right. What we'll do is, who can tell me some of those actually, who can tell me what name they have on their front and who they are? You can just tell me who they are. That has led you already.
My dad.
Your dad. Now, what kind of qualities? Tell me some of the qualities that your dad has.
He was a resident engineer by trade, but he was hardworking. He always put us first. He was very open-minded. He was a great problem solver.
What was it, the one before problem solving?
He was open-minded.
Open-minded, I like that.
And he always put us first.
Put us first, yeah. I'll leave some room for some others, but yeah, always put you first. He's looking at the needs of others before his own. I like that. Actually, that's what's probably better to put on here. Needs of others. Should have been a doctor. This is about as neat as it gets. It goes down from here. Who else wants to share? Don't have to, but who else got the name? Bonnie?
I have Lisa Leiter, one of my first real bosses in college. One of the things that I loved about her is that she had the confidence in my skills, the confidence in my abilities.
I love that. Belief in others.
And she was very good at giving me space to succeed or make mistakes and then
Yeah.
learn from them.
And that was one of the characteristics that we saw on that first couple slides, giving space. It's really empowering. Trust, actually, is also what it is. You're trusting someone. You don't hire someone, like Dave Ramsey, since I'm a worksite trainer for him on the financial peace side, is that he gives his certain staff in the management positions check cards, debit cards, not credit cards. Yeah, believe in credit card, teaches against them. But he's got staff that have direct access to his bank account. He says, people are like, Lord, why would you do that? Listen, if I don't trust him, I don't hire him. Why would I not? I trust him. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. That's kind of a testament to his hiring ability. And actually, talking to just his assistant, or one of the assistants, is that it took 3 months to hire this person. They usually don't hire someone on the first interview, second interview, third interview, fourth interview, fifth interview. It's usually on up there. And their management team has to read Good to Great. They have to read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. There's a whole bunch of them that if they want to be part of the management team, they have to do X, Y, and Z. And actually, he always brings in a spouse for the interview, for the last interview. He wants to know who the employee's going home to. Yeah, he's got some stories of what he's uncovered. But so, what else? So you empower others?
The only other one I had that I had shared knowledge.
Shared knowledge, yeah. Anybody else?
I got Dave Snodgrass, which was one of my bosses.
Dave, okay. Wow, so we actually do have some bosses in here.